This guy's dead, they're hanging upside down, and in this video, we'll find out why. Okay, so we know they're dead, that doesn't help a lot, but we also know they're in the outer wall. That doesn't help a lot on the surface, but why don't we explore why castles have an outer wall in the first place to get some clues. So the first reason is obvious, we gotta defend the castle. Maybe the body is here to deter invaders? I don't know, I wouldn't bet on that. The body hangs on the far side of the castle, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, look at the entrance, no bodies here. The skeleton is definitely not for defense. So what else does the outer wall do? Wait, toilets? Well, the outer wall is a choice location for the latrine. Toilets keep your piles of shit from piling up inside.
But what is a toilet?
Ah, the toilet! How can you be the king of your own castle without a proper throne?
Why does it advertise that it flushes billiard balls?
Oh my god, you people are sick.
My favorite toilet without a doubt is the Pittsburgh potty. There's no walls or privacy. Back in the day, you'd come home just filthy from a day's work. You'd use a side door to get straight to the basement, you'd do the dirty, and clean up before going to the main floor. But what did castle toilets look like? There were several contemporary designs Castlevania could employ. An internal design we see here was popular, but the absence of a poop smith rules this design out. Fast forward to today's world, and toilets are also internal, but unfortunately the modern toilet wasn't known in Romania at the time.
Okay, so what about the modern toilet here? So it happens in two phases. The ability to flush was the first one, and it actually happened in the 1500s, but people kind of forgot about it a little bit, and its history is a bit mired. So you'll see a lot of people online attributing it to a gentleman in 1860, which is too late, and his name was Thomas Crapper. That's what they screwed it up with? Oh, god damn it. Anyway, so the crapper invention's a load of crap. Flushing was available before. But the second piece is this S-bend piping you see over here. And its whole purpose is to keep your flavor from flavoring the house. So that was invented in 1775 by another individual named Alexander Cummings. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Okay, so Cummings comes up with the S-bend, 1775. Symphony of the Night happens like 20 years later. Why don't we see the modern toilet in Castlevania? And it's a really interesting historical fact. So Cummings wasn't from Romania. It's from jolly old England. What do we know about the British? They got bad teeth, and they do this thing. They used to do it all the time back in the day. Oh yeah, stealing from people. Okay, so the British are busy stealing, and when you steal, you piss people off. Who did they piss off at the time? The fucking Americans. Yeah, America, fuck yeah, all right? So this is at the time of the American Revolutionary War. So the British are too busy taking the piss to teach the world how to properly take a piss. So even though it was already invented, the word didn't get out to the rest of the world. So that's why we don't see this toilet in Symphony of the Night.
Since we don't find a poop smith in Castlevania, they clearly went with the more practical, get this shit out of here, external design. This is what we're looking for in the outer wall. So, let's explore the wall and find ourselves a toilet. The observatory's location offers waste disposal over the water, but this is far from ideal. The side window provides exterior access, but it isn't really designed for this purpose. Alternatively, evacuating into the vase would be a little too crude and very difficult to deal with after the fact. So this isn't very promising. We'll need to aim higher, to the upper section of the wall. It is here we find our toilet, an alcove near the top of the wall. This is the only clear opening in the wall, and is flexible to handle all manner of humanoid and demonic-sized shitters alike. The alcove perfectly overhangs to either transport products directly to the lake below, or simply roll off of the pitched roof. So back to the top of the wall, we find a curious detail. A rope tied to a column? Of course, someone tied themselves to the column, likely as a safety precaution. This explains why they're hanging by their foot. Tying a rope around their midsection would lead to discomfort in the act. So an inhabitant of the castle, who is mindful of safety, made use of the facilities and tied a rope to their foot. After a laborious endeavor, they stood up and slipped off the ledge. Exhausted from their efforts, they lacked the strength to pull themselves up and sadly died trying. But this isn't the end of our story. Oh no, it's not. The last purpose of our outer wall is the elevator, a key point of interest in the castle. So in a quick comparison, we can clearly see that the elevator in the outer wall is clearly broken. It's a miracle we don't just straight up die from it. Want more proof the elevator's broken? In some versions of the game, the elevator can skip a floor and legit soft lock you, trapping you in the elevator shaft for all of eternity. I guess Dracula wins. By the time we arrive, the machine's failsafe has already been triggered. We can override this using the lever, but why is it experiencing a failure at all? Why isn't it safe? Shouldn't it just work? What's missing explains what's here. The elevator isn't working because the person who's responsible for its safety is dead. As news about his passing spread around the castle, why didn't they just pull him back up? A better question might be, where would they put him? In the catacombs with every other skeleton? No, that doesn't seem very fitting. I like to think he serves as a reminder, as a cautionary tale, allowing him to continue his mission of safety from beyond the grave. I also like to think it lets his colleagues remember him. I like to think the smoke occasionally found in the wall is a toast as they blaze one in remembrance of their lost companion. As for the inverted castle, I like to think the castle is sentient and self-aware in its design, maybe as a tribute to its lost employee. Overall, I wouldn't read too much into the second castle's layout. It's a world where rain falls upwards and the land exists in the sky. The game takes place in Europe, not Australia. So there we have it. Whether the skeleton is a general engineer or whose sole purpose was to maintain the outer wall elevator, we'll never know. That's all for this episode. A special thanks to the lovely individuals you see on the screen, who helped me craft this theory live on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch for more lore and randomizer runs. There's a link to the making of this video in the description below. Take care. You better believe this is a toilet.